Hey everyone, I'm going to go ahead and go over the Unit 5 Lesson 3 Lists Practice, Go Formative. So in Bubble 3, you are asked to declare and assign a list that contains 3 of your favorite songs. And so you use var and the name of the variable, I called it favorite songs, get, square brackets, these are strings, so you need the double quotes, and you've got commas in between. And to print, you just have to use console.log. For number 3, we did this in class. In order to print, we're going to call in console.log, and then in the parentheses, we have to use the list name and then the index number. And remember, the first is always at index 0, the third is at index 2, the fifth, therefore, is at index 4. And we didn't have to count all the animals in the list. We could just call on animals.length minus 1. Okay, because we do start at index 0. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go to Bubble 5. And in Bubble 5, let's just make sure I start over here. We want to, when the screen is clicked, we want to make a random string from the answers list displayed on the 8-ball. So we have a list here with, a bunch of strings. And, oh, there we go. Now we can, I don't see the bar here. Okay. And so we've got lots of different, messages by the 8-ball. So we need to update the index here. Okay, so initialize it, it's initialized at 0 and you update screen. And the first one says yes, absolutely. So when you run, it says yes, absolutely. So now it says if you get stuck, go ahead and take a look at the random list access pattern. So we're going to call in random number 0, comma, list name dot length minus 1. And that's all we do. Okay. So we're going to find our variable and we're going to reassign our variable index to random number, which is math, beginning at index 0. And the last one is going to be, the name of the list is answers dot length minus 1. Okay. And then once we reassign index, what update screen does is it's going to set this area to the message, which is, or the string at that index in the list. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset. And we're going to click, and you can see it's not necessarily in order. Okay, it's just kind of random order, random indexes. So we can reset and run again. So yes, absolutely always comes first, but I have a good feeling about this is later on in the list. Okay, so we're going to copy and paste the play screen on event code. So let's do that right here. All right. Okay, next in Bubble 6, we're going to take a look at the list scrolling pattern and copy and paste the left button on event after we've completed the bubble. So in Bubble 6, just make sure I start over. All right, so this is a class schedule, and we've got a lot of starter code. So we want to add code to the left button so the user can scroll back to the left after scrolling to the right. So we can go to the right, but the left button is not working. So if you go to helps and tips, list scroll, we've got the left button here. If index is greater than 0, we're going to decrement index gets index minus 1 and then update screen. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So we need a conditional statement in under control. So if index is greater than 0, what we're going to do is reassign index. Ooh, there we go, index. and decrease it by 1, the current value. Okay, and then we got to call on update screen. All right, so let's reset and run. And we can go to the right. Now we can go to the left. But once we're at the index 0, right? If index is 0, it's not greater than 0, so it's not going to do anything, right? Only if it's greater than 0 will it decrease the index. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy and paste this left button on event. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and move on to bubble 9. We're going to skip bubble 7 and 8. So we're going to copy and paste the code which added 2 more food items to the list. So we're going to skip 7 and 8 and go to bubble 9. Okay, so bubble 9. And here we need to use a pen item to add 2 more food items to the list. Okay, so at this point, we're going to, we have a list of food, of strings, okay, and when we run it, it gives us the length. Okay, it gives us what the food list is and then the length. So what we want to do is we want to add some items. So I'm going to add them right here where it says use a pen item. So pen item. And the name of the list is food. And I'm going to go ahead and add one of my favorite foods, which is sushi. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and add another item here in my list name called food. And the string I'm going to add is dark chocolate. And so now when we reset and run, we can see our list is growing in size by 1. Every time I add sushi here, it's going to increase by 1. I add dark chocolate and increase by 1 again. So let's go ahead and copy and paste the code which added 2 items. So I'm going to copy and paste this one and then this one again. And just have sushi here instead. All right. Number 7. We need to go to bubble 10 and copy and paste what we added to the add button so that a new item would be added. So this is similar to this one, but now we're going to actually have it in an interactive app. So let's go to bubble 10. And okay, we're going to, let me go ahead and start over. All right, let's use a pen item. And let's go ahead and make sure that we can actually add a new item. So let's run it first. And it looks like we want to be able to add, like, again, let's say we want to add sushi and add item, but it doesn't add anything. So we have to change the code. So we've got the list and we can see it's being displayed and we update the screen, but then we're going to add new food. It gets text from this diary input, which is this UI element here. So let's use a pen item, which is under variables. The name of our list is again called food, and we're going to not add the string, but we're going to add the variable new food, which stores a string from this input. So let's go ahead and run. And now when I put sushi, oh, it's added. What about if I add pizza? Another one of my favorites. It is added as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy and paste this. All right, and you can delete some of this white, these blank lines. Okay, all right, and then we're almost done, bubble 11. We need to remove all the numbers, and we have to add the missing months. So that's bubble 11. You're going to go here, and we've got 2 lists, animals and months. Okay, so let me go ahead and start over. And we want to remove the numbers from the animals list and add the missing months. Okay, and just remember we start indexing at 0. So if we run the program right now, we've got an 11 here at index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go ahead and remove item. Originally, we had a 2 here, and we removed that 2. Okay, so for example, if you did a console.log at the very beginning, before you removed that 2 at index 2, okay, reset run. Oops, I forgot to change this to animals. And let's not do this yet. I'm going to comment it. So we run it, and notice there's a 2 here. So this line of code, remove item animals 2, removed this 2. But now I want to remove the 11. So now the 11 is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to remove this one here, right? Index 5. Okay. Now, suppose that I'm like, oh, you know what? There's a 13. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this 13. So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So let's try this. If I put a 9 here, let's see what happens. Reset run. And if you take a look, it looks like that 13 is still there, but we actually removed the buffalo. And the reason is because when we removed the 11, all the other items in the list shifted over to the left. So it re-indexed all of these. So now 13 is actually not at index 9, it's at index 8. So you just have to be really careful when you're removing items to make sure you're removing the correct item, because those item indexes, the indexes of the items to the right of the items you removed, do shift over. So now if you reset and run, you can see I no longer have any numbers in the list. So now you're going to go ahead and insert months, missing months. So currently we've got January, February, March, and then you added April at index 3. So now we still need to add in September, October, and then a November. So let's add 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to go ahead and add insert item right here. The name is months, and the index is 8, and we want to add September. So I would do it one at a time, just make sure that you've got the indexing correct. So now this is 8. Now at October, November. So we want to actually add it where December is. So we're going to go ahead and add 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But we could have also done list.length, animal.length, -1. That's the index of this one. So we can try it both ways. Let's try it using months, and then months.length -1, and then November. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, and it does look like, I'm not sure what this, oh, I forgot the semicolon. There we go. Okay, so we've got all of the months. Or instead of doing months.length, I could have just put 10 here, and that would have also added November in the correct place. But the other one is nice because you don't have to count. If you already know that you want to put November where the last item is, the index number is going to be the list name.length -1. So let's go ahead and copy and paste the code we added. So we added this code here, and then we also added up here these 2 lines. Okay. All right, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all in class. Bye, everyone.